Greetings everybody, it's me Knight, and I wasn't planning on making this video tonight. I might post it tonight whenever, but this is going to be about um, goddess energy and also God's energy, but more so the feminine aspect. So I'm going to make this brief, hopefully. And this is all about talking about how the aspect of God's source or goddess source transforms into different energies to help humanity, or it could possibly bring humanity obstacles in life, right? Even angels. So like, male and females, we all have a duality. We have a masculine and feminine side, and the God source or goddess source, whatever you believe in, has this source in it. So I'm gonna go back into the past. I'm gonna bring up Greece for an example, okay? When you look at the energy of like Isis, right? Before her name was Isis, she was Aset, right? Now, some people felt like she had an energy similar to like, Hathor, right? And then later on, you see the Greeks took her, like I just stated, her name was Isis, and then they also merged her. In case you guys don't know, so no offense to anybody who is a devotee to Persephone, but she was Persephone Isis, right? Because they conflated them, right? Then they also conflated Isis Aphrodite. They put her with Aphrodite because this goddess was also known as a goddess of 10,000 names. She also represents Venus. Aphrodite represented Venus. And so how I looked at it from my perspective, and not just because of what I read, but also me channeling and me being the medium and working with certain spirits, I've come to realize, like, particularly with this Venus energy, it's been on Earth for like lots of lives for many people for like millenniums. Because you even see archaeologists are digging up in the ground, they're finding mother figurines, and they're calling them Venus, if you notice this, and they're all over different parts of the world, parts of Europe, Africa, right? And this is showing you that how far people have been showing homage to the divine mother energy. And I noticed it's very always connected to Venus or either the moon. And so, and it's always shape-shifting, either a maiden, a mother, or a crone. They do have certain energies of, they have found certain, how can I say, artifacts that are masculine in nature that are conflated as well, but definitely I see this with the feminine. And the reason I'm bringing this up, if anybody out there works with deities, or you've been trying to just figure out what created us, whether a god or a mother source, and it's hard to figure out, right? Especially if you're not too much in religion as much, it's mainly because it's very transformative. It's almost like in the Bible it had three Marys. You got Mary Magdalene, you got the regular Mary, you got all these Marys, right? It's just showing you the different aspects of the mother, right? And how it has been helping us before we became more of a patriarch. And I'm not knocking the patriarch, it's just a lot of things have been hidden. I've noticed that working with divine feminine energy, whether you work with a dark goddess energy or just a divine goddess energy, or you just pray to God and you believe in the Holy Spirit is feminine, it's Sophia, it's wisdom. She's kind of hidden, right? You got to go into a dark place to really see through the light. She's hidden, she's veiled. Humans have veiled her. Religion has veiled the feminine, right? They almost suppress this information. And the reason why it's hard to figure out, for example, if you are into deity work again, who's calling you, and you might think it's Persephone or you think it's Freya. Freya's still Venus, guys. Like, this spirit, it goes to different cultures through different names, however it needs to. It might go as Ashum, right, with the African culture. It still represents a planet, but it's represented through different names, because you gotta understand, these spirits, the God source knows that we speak different tongues, and it has to come to us in certain ways that correlate with us so we can understand what is reaching out to us, right? So again, when the Greeks brought up Isis, I should say, to Greece, they conflated her with Persephone. Now certain people and their souls, they might feel like they want to be compelled to go towards Persephone. Now this same Isis energy will speak to those people through Persephone. So she will never really show up as Isis, but she's still Isis, but it's Persephone. And if she was to decide to show herself in physical form, whoever has the eyes to see the spirit, she will technically show up as a Greek form of Persephone. But if you resonate with the Isis, she might show up in the form of Isis, an Egyptian, right? She appeals to however she sees fit. Even if you look at Bridget, that's still an aspect of some sort sun energy, but also a mix of Venus. It's going to show how it needs to be, right? And have you noticed all these women I've mentioned have red hair? You got to see how things play out. Aphrodite had red hair. Persephone had reddish dark red hair. Bridget has red hair. You understand? They had red hair, right? Even if you look at the story of Lilith, right? If you go far back, she had red hair, right? And everything was done with sensual energy, sexual energy, divine feminine energy, wisdom, transformative. Sometimes Lilith can show up as a young feminine energy. She can show up as a motherly energy. It's all reflection of what a woman can be. And just in general, the cycles of life, because even men have their stages, right? So at the end of the day, that's why it's hard to pick up what the feminine it really is, right? And even when we're trying to figure out ourselves, whether you're a man or a woman. And so, again, I'm mentioning this is because as we do our spiritual work and we're trying to connect with Source, the Source is omnipresent, but it can show itself in any way it wants to. It's no different than an angel. For example, I'm going to use Archangel Gabriel. Some people feel like Archangel Gabriel is masculine. Some people think it's feminine because of the name, right? So, and also just the energy it might show itself as or make you feel its vibration as. Just like me, I'm nice, but if somebody makes me mad, I can show a certain type of way. If I'm around a kid, I can be even though I'm a man, I can show a certain type of feminine motherly love from my feminine aspect. Plus, I'm a Scorpio, I have a water energy, I can gravitate and bring it out of me, right? You know, so you got to look at this all together. And so I'm just bringing this video because, again, spirits, just how we evolved, they evolved. Like, you got to think about it. Back in the times of Greece and ancient Rome and Mesopotamia, there was no television, so they see that we've evolved. So if we don't notice the signs through animals or nature, right, they're going to show on television, right? They might show you a commercial, and excuse that noise, it's my candle wax. But again, like, that's how they are, okay? They're going to show you in any way they need to show you themselves, right? And I'm definitely taking that as confirmation. My candle dripping. I'm telling you right now, they will show signs through noises, anything, and they're always transmuting. Because the reason I'm saying is because when I'm on YouTube, when I'm seeing archaeologists research things, when I'm seeing other readers trying to figure out what kind of spirits are around them, if they're not actual humans or your ancestors, and you're working with deities or angels or demons, or even if you're working with archangels and you don't know if it's a masculine or feminine, these things can transform. It doesn't mean they're really trying to trick you. They're coming towards you in any way or shape or form that resonates with your soul, right? So for example, if you work with Hecate, yes, she can be stern, but if she already kind of knows that you're already a tough kind of a person, she's not going to go too hard. She might be a certain type of way with you. If she knows you're a certain type of coach, she's going to be a certain type of way, but she still has her same essence. It's transformative, right? So, I mean, I'm just saying, again, she even knows your zodiac placement. All energies know everything about you, just about, almost, right? And even if you're connected to the God source, right? The omnipresent God source, if you're monotheistic, right? It knows what you need. It's going to appeal to you however it wants to. So if it knows you can't hear messages, if it knows you can't have visions, it will send somebody in human form that's going to resonate with your soul to help you connect with God's source. Especially if you're not a person who goes to church. Again, the higher conscience, the higher octave of love and the higher essence of what made us, the omnipresent force, it can transmute and shapeshift in any type of way it sees fit. Just like I made the video earlier when I told you the planets have duality, the masculine, feminine energy, and it's all to get us to a certain point to elevate, right? So don't get butthurt if you can't figure out what energies around you. These things shapeshift, man, right? It's no different than the goddess Morgan and all that. You're trying to figure out what's calling out to you. Some of these same spirits it's the same source. So again, I'm going to go back to Venus. Venus can display in any type of form. The goddess of death can show up in any type of form, but it's the same goddess. It's an omnipresent force because it's still connected to the omnipresent energy that created it, right? So even if that source didn't create humanity, it has an essence of it. So if it wants to bring death or transformation, it would do so. If it wants to bring healing, it would do so, right? And so that's what I was making this video about on transformation, guys, right? And I don't want to make this video too long. I'm probably going to make a part 2. But with that being said, blessed be everybody.